good and fits, and this is my list of the top 10 golden era wrestlers. So obviously this one's going to be a fairly easy list for me to come up with, because golden era for me, even back then, I had a couple of favorites, and the rest of the guys were just part of the show. And like for me, there was a lot of characters, but I couldn't really get behind a lot of the characters, and it's the same for the new gen one as well. But let's get into this list anyway, guys. Number 10, I've gone with Hulk Hogan. You can't really leave him off. The way that, obviously, most people will remember Hulk Hogan with a nostalgia value. He was always the main event. He was always the guy holding the belt in the top stories, etc. So there is always going to be a part of you that has him in your list, just for the fact of he was the guy, so he has to be acknowledged for that purpose. But for me, even as a kid, I felt like a lot of his matches were very formulaic, so he's not going to be very high on this list. But number 10, Hulk Hogan, deserving of the list, had to be. Now, number 9, I'm going to go with Andre the Giant. Another one for me as a kid. He was a bit slow lumbering. I didn't get the best of his career. I didn't get where he was athletic and all that kind of stuff. I got the tag team with Haku. You know what I mean? Like Haku did all the heavy lifting, and Andre came in and got a spot in at the end or whatever. But for me, he did deserve to be on the list because there was such an aura about him. Even as a kid, you could see when he was on screen, he was something. He was different, and it wasn't just the fact that he was taller than everyone. That there was something about him that just made you just stop and stare at him. And yeah, number 9, Andre the Giant. Going with Ultimate Warrior at number 8. Another very limited character, but for me as a kid, you were either a Hogan or a Warrior guy, because Macho Man, they kind of made a heel so often that it was like he couldn't be your number one guy as a kid, because you need consistency in your good guys at them ages. And for me, Ultimate Warrior was that guy. But don't judge me, guys. Like I say, it as I grew up, I understood he's not the guy. He definitely isn't the guy, and that's why he can't be very high on this list. But when we're talking about a generation with the Warlord and Hernandez and Hercules Hernandez and that is, yeah, we haven't got the sickest roster to deal with, to be totally honest. So number 8, Ultimate Warrior. Number 7, Undertaker. Yes, it is very low to be on this list, but let's be clear, Golden Era Undertaker was not the same. He was not the same. He was very slow. Like, yes, he had glimpses of like athleticism and glimpses of what was to come, but it wasn't the era for him to be anything more than just the big dead giant. You know what I mean? So he's only going to be able to. He had a glass ceiling. Let's be clear. Even though he won the title in his first year, his character in that generation couldn't do much else than what he did. Number 6, Ted DiBiase. As a kid, never really liked him that much, but as I grew up, I realised that's because he did his job well. You can't knock him for that, and his in-ring work was always solid. Number 5, Roddy Piper. Again, promos weren't really for me, but was clearly one of the better kind of promos out of the mix. Everything was very, very similar to each other's. Everyone just shouting and grunting and stuff. So, yeah, Roddy Piper, number 5. Number 4, I've gone with Rick Rude. Now, Rick Rude in-ring work was incredible. Like, now we're getting into the list of 4 people that could actually wrestle today and nobody would bat an eyelid. Nobody would say that they're in the wrong era or whatever. Like, they would be able to execute fantastic matches with today's talent, and Rick Rude is one of them. Now, this top three, I will say, any given day, it could go any way, but the top two specifically, but number three, Jake the Snake Roberts, again, in-ring work didn't need to be much more than it was for the character that he was, but at the end of the day, he was so good. Like, specifically, I remember one of the worst matches that you'll ever see. It's probably got about 2 punches and a DDT in the whole match, the blindfold match at WrestleMania with Rick the Model Martel. But if that had been Rick the Model and anybody else, it wouldn't have worked. Jake the Snake made that work. His in-ring work was absolutely incredible, and his work, like, feeding off the crowd, that's really what set him apart to everybody else. And I feel like in today's era, his feeding off the crowd, he'd be something else, especially as a heel. Now, like I say, number two, these two, right, you could put them right now in the ring against anybody, and these two in their prime, nobody's batting an eyelid. Everyone's gonna think that these belong in today's era. Like I say, these two easier to flip around at any given time. For me, number two, I've gone with Macho Man Randy Savage, and number one, Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig. So, like I say, guys, two fantastic wrestlers that I more associate with being heels than anything else, as do, like, the Jake the Snake, bit flip flop, but the biting Macho Man, I remember key. But even though I remember him getting the Snake to bite Macho, I still have more vivid memories of the Macho King era. So yeah, like, and Rick Rude, obviously heel. Piper was a heel for a lot of the time. DiBiase heel, Taker heel, Andre at the time heel. So very heel centric. So you can see, obviously, I more appreciate, in hindsight, more than this is what inner child me was writing, because inner child me would have definitely had Ultimate Warrior up top, and that's a travesty. But yeah, guys, that's my list of the top 10 golden era generation wrestlers. I'll run through it one more time. Hopefully it'll appear on the screen to assist. We're gonna go 10 Hogan, 9 Andre, 8 Warrior, 7 Taker, 6 DiBiase, 7 Piper, 4 Rude, 3 Jake the Snake, 2 Macho Man, and 1 Mr. Perfect. Well, let me know who your favourite golden era generation wrestlers are in the comments below. Let me know who shouldn't have been in the list, should have been in the list, should have been higher, lower, all that business. I'll catch you on the next one.